Welcome YouTube, welcome to the channel. My name is Deathstrike and I want to welcome you to my intro of my channel. So this intro is going to be a quick introduction just to give you a background of who I am, how I came to doing reactions and reviews, and just an idea of what type of reactions and reviews I'm going to do. Now my reactions are going to be based off of Kaiju number 8, Mashals, and Jujutsu Kaisen, and possibly One Piece sprinkled in there. There's some others that I'm thinking about possibly doing, but I haven't really made that decision yet. But it's something that I may consider, depending on how popular the channel gets and what the feedback is from the community, the people that watch. Because right now, most likely when I update, I may just get 1 or 2 viewers. But that's okay. The point is to put the channel up and somehow grow a community of people that watch. Now, Kaiju number 8 is one that I started reading about a year or 2 years ago. Don't know how long it's been out, but I read it a very long time ago. And what I did is what I do with most of my animes is once I get like pretty far out, I kind of like stop and just kind of like let it like build up because I was getting I read the first 8 chapters and I think I got up to a number of chapters where there were no more. So once I got to like when it first came out, I read like the first 20 chapters and there was no more chapters. And then after that I said, you know what? I'm just gonna let it simmer. I'm gonna let it boil. Just like what I do with my favorite anime, One Piece. One Piece, when I catch up to the anime, I stop, I let it simmer, I let it boil, I let the stew I let it marinate, right? Because even though I read the manga and I know what's going on, ain't nothing better than seeing your favorite manga like serialized and made into anime. So that's the whole point of this starting this channel right here, is to hopefully give Kaiju number 8 the notoriety or the popularity that someday when it gets turned into anime, that people will come to my channel. They're gonna be like, this guy know what he's talking about. Like, watch Deathstrike. Deathstrike, he's been with it since the beginning. He's not just jumping on it. And piggybacking on that, uh, this is my second channel, and just to give you guys just a sort of like a background on my first channel. My first channel, I started it back in 2020, and it was based on Kimetsu no Yaiba. I got maybe a good 40-50 chapters in my stream. I uploaded about maybe a good 40 chapters, like 5 at a time. It was like my streams were very long, maybe like 3 to 5 chapters per stream, per recording that I uploaded. And I started doing Kimetsu no Yaiba after reading the manga back in 2019. Read the manga back in 2019. I told a friend of mine, I was like, "Yo, I really like the manga. I really want to talk about it. I would like to talk about it because what's the point of what's I don't know about many of you, but ever since I started reading mangas and watching anime, what really like motivates me is what other people think, right? Like, what do other people like me think? People that watch it. And I'm from the time before there was like YouTube viewers and stuff that you can review on YouTube. I used to go to the forums when I used to watch back in the days. When I used to read Naruto back in the days, I used to go to the forums, and the forums were a place where I can go and communicate with the community and get what their feel is on like a character on uh of my favorite show, of Bleach, of Naruto. Um, so that's what I'm talking about. So this is where I'm starting it with Kaiju number 8, and also maybe Jujutsu Kaisen. Jujutsu Kaisen, I don't know if anybody of you have read the manga, but it already has an anime, and it's has an anime pretty early, and it's a really good anime actually. I like it. I like the idea. But there's many out there that are really good, right? So there's many out there that are really good. Let's see here. So back to what I was saying with Kimetsu no Yaiba. Started my channel back in 2020. Unfortunately, I was like within the span of 12 hours, I was hit with a couple of like 3 strikes. Like, I didn't even get a react. I didn't even have time to like take down videos or comply with what they were asking. By the time I woke up that morning, I already had 2 strikes, and the third strike was like on his way. So by the time I like turned on my computer, went to like edit videos and like put them down, my channel was already like my channel was blocked. My channel was no good, no good to me. I couldn't log into it. I was completely blocked. And at that point, I just kind of like just kind of left it like that and didn't really start a channel right away because I had so many things going on at the time, a lot of work, and I left the channel and let it be. So now I'm back. We're better than ever. And we wanna start fresh. So like I mentioned, this is where we're gonna discuss Kaiju number 8, Mashals. If none of you have watched Mashals, Jujutsu Kaisen, One Piece, maybe possibly we can talk about the GOAT shows every once in a while. We can talk about the GOAT. We can talk about Goku over there, Dragon Ball Super if y'all want to keep up with it. One of my favorite animes. And just to segue into another point, I started reading. My first anime ever watched was Dragon Ball Z. Like many people, we started on Toonami, and the most dreaded words you could hear at Toonami was "next time" on the next episode. It went something like that, right? Next time on the next episode, and then you tune in the next day, and the whole series started again. And you was like, "Yo, wasn't Cell just about to like transform or some shit? What happened? Like, why are we starting over, right?" But it never got old. So, but we enjoyed it. Back in and after Dragon Ball Z finished, and after like I left, I think I left to the military right after high school. Um, I hadn't watched anime or manga for I hadn't watched anime for a very long time. I had never read a manga, and a friend of mine, Trey Bowie, that was in the military with me. Shout out to Vietnam, by the way. Trey was from Vietnam. He lent me Berserk, and I went to my room and I was like sitting, and I just binge watched Berserk all night, and it ended, and I said, "Yo, Trey, what's the rest? There has to be more to this." He's like, "Nah, that's it." I said, "You mean to tell me Berserk ended on a cliffhanger?" I was like, "Bro, that is not possible. That's not possible. How can the show just end and not finish it?" And it was sad. It's a very sad day. And I said, "Okay, so there's no more. What else you got here?" And then I looked through his collection, and he was like, "Yo, I got this Naruto." And that's when I started watching Naruto. Watching Naruto, I binged through it, and when I finished it, there was no more. And I was like, "Yo, bro, there's no more episodes." And I'm talking about the original Naruto, not the Shippuden. I think that's how you said it. So Naruto was done. I had finished watching it, and I loved it. I loved everything about Naruto, and that's when my obsession of Naruto came to be. And at that time, I remember thinking to myself, "Wow, I watch all of this. What do I do now?" And I went online and I started googling stuff about Naruto, and I was like, "Man, I need to know what's next." And then I googled online, and then just like when I was googling, it just happened to be that Shippuden had just started. Like the anime Shippuden had just returned, and Naruto had just come back, and I was probably like 2 episodes in. And I said, "Well," so I started going on my computer looking for it, trying to figure out how to way to download them. So I downloaded them, started watching them, and I loved it. And I said, "Wow, this is great." And I didn't turn back from there. From there, my obsession with Naruto continued. And then you once you get to the point, if you love animes, once you get to the point where there's no episodes, your inner fiend takes over. Like, where you want to know what's next. My inner fiend took over, and the next thing I knew is I wanted to know what was happening next. So I started googling stuff, and then I came across mangas, and I started reading, and I was like, "Yo, there's so much more to this." And no matter how much, if you like mangas, you understand that in your mind after seeing your show and you read mangas, it's like you read it, but it's like it's like it's hard to describe actually. It's like it animates in your own head. So sometimes when you see the anime, it's like I feel like I've seen this somewhere before, but you have. It's just that you animate it in your own head, and it's just like. But when you see it in anime, it's just so much better. So that's what I want to happen with Kaiju number 8. I'm reading it, but I want it to be, someday I want to see it in anime form. That is the goal. That is the goal, and that is what we're shooting for. So, uh, what else I was gonna say? So from watching mangas, I passed over to once I finished and I caught up with the manga, the Naruto manga. I started watching Bleach. Then same thing happened again, and then once I finished Bleach, I moved on to One Piece. Right, I moved on to One Piece. I saw everything. Full Metal Jacket. No, I said Full Metal Jacket. That's a movie. Full Metal Alchemist. Right. I saw as many animes that I could see. I was hooked, hook, line, and sinker. No, it wasn't just DBZ anymore. Now I wanted an assortment of all that was around. So I seen multiple animes, and something that's sad about animes too is that sometimes some of them are made and they're not finished, and you're kind of like left with an incomplete product. And you start watching it, you get hooked, and then you're like, "There's no more episodes," and then you see when was the last episode, and the show was never made again, and then you're like, "Wow, that sucks." But yeah, let's see. Let me just look over my notes here to see what we talked about. So we talked about, you know, but as of right now, my favorite anime, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, is One Piece. And we're reading One Piece manga. Today is a big week for One Piece. So for all you One Piece fans over there, make sure you watch One Piece. Make sure you read it, because the reveal this week is, to me, tell me what you guys think. Do you think, if you watch One Piece, do you think this week's reveal is as big as Obito's reveal, or less? Because when we found out who Toby was, that was big. You know how long I was reading Naruto before I found out what Toby was? I went on the forums and like looked at so many theories. So many theories, and it took forever to find out who he was. But we found out. So would you consider this as big or less big? Because what's going on in One Piece right now is sort of like, you can say, well, we sort of had an idea, but it wasn't confirmed. So would you say that is, but this could be either or. This could be uh, either or. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure, if you like the channel, if you feel like you're gonna like what I'm gonna be talking about, make sure that you come back. Make sure that you definitely subscribe. Most definitely try to subscribe, because you subscribing is going to get you the alerts that you need to see when I upload the next video. That is definitely going to help, because this is if you like the content that I'm going to bring, then this will help get the channel from the bottom up, right? This would set the ground, set the place the foundation for this channel. So make sure you subscribe. Once again, press the like button, because like people say all the time, YouTube algorithm, right? But this was just my quick introduction, just for all you guys that that are gonna tune in. I hope you enjoy the content. I hope I give you good feedback and reviews and reactions based on some of the manga and anime that I'm gonna read. And I'll be giving you guys sort of like some like ideas what you can read. Let me take a look at my phone real quick and give you some of the decent ones. I don't know if you guys ever read Tales of Demons and Gods. It seems like it's a Chinese manga, but it's good. I probably read it like 4 or 5 years ago, and it was awesome. I think I went and I read like, let's see how many. I probably read like 300 chapters within like a span of like a day or two. But it was great. Let's see here. Bleach is over. I'm just going through my list of mangas that I could recommend. Um, Tensei Shitara Slime Dakakin. I mean, I definitely butchered that. I definitely butchered that. But that's the time I reincarnated into slime. Great anime. Great anime. I started reading the manga. Haven't got that far yet. But maybe I'll bring that here too. You know what I mean? Let me know in the comment section. That's something we can discuss. Great, great, great anime. Great manga. Black Clover is something I read. I'm just going through my list here on one of my anime, uh, one of my manga apps that I have. Black Clover, One Punch Man. You guys want me to bring you some content on One Punch Man? Would y'all like? Are y'all interested in that? I mean, I can't do too much, but I can bring you the weekly. Cause One Punch Man, I can start off where we caught up already. I can start from the beginning. We can start from the most current and we move from there. We can do that. So we can do One Punch Man. Boruto, I haven't watched in a while. I haven't watched the anime kind of at all. I read mostly the manga all the way up to a certain chapter. Don't want to spoil it for anybody that hasn't really watched, but I read it up to a certain chapter um when I don't really want to spoil it. I mean, if you keep up with it, then you should know what the most current chapter is. It's one of the villains. He gets defeated, and then the main character gets like possessed by somebody. So that's where I'm at. Attack on Titan, Jujutsu Kaisen, My Hero Academia. That's another one that I read. Doctor Stone, Solo Leveling was good. I started reading that, but it's just I'm telling you all of this. If you look at all of this in my list, you could tell how much stuff I have read. I have read so much stuff, and there's no time for it. There's really no time for it. In one that I missed out on was, like I said, Kimetsu no Yaiba. I started reading the manga in 2019, like I mentioned earlier in the video, and by 2020, by the time I got banned, right, there wasn't too many YouTubers doing Kimetsu no Yaiba at the time, and then I ended up getting banned. And by like a couple of months after I got banned, it was so much murk, so much talk about Kimetsu, and I was like, wow, such a shame that I missed out because I had started my channel right before the show blew up. Because once the anime was out, the anime came out in April. I think I was banned prior to that. I think the anime came out in April or March of 2020. I was banned prior to that because my channel, I think by March I was already like, I wasn't really streaming anymore. By like later on, like in the summertime, people were loving the anime. People loved it, but I was banned at the time, and the show ended up becoming a huge success. I mean, you can ask around; it's a big success. People love it. So, but anyway, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe right there. Press the button, press the like button, and let me know what you think in the comment box. Let me know what mangas and animes you would like to discuss. But we're mostly going to be doing Kaiju number 8. I'm thinking about if I should do a read along, live reaction. I don't know if I should do a read along, sort of like a record live reaction. Can't really do streams yet until like I have more like who does a stream by themselves, right? So we'll do maybe I'll do a read along or just kind of like a review of the chapter. Like we'll figure it out. But thank you. This is Death Strike. Please tune into the channel. Take care, YouTube.